This is our third podcast with UppLabs team, and today we're glad to show you and tell you about our junior Frontend developer, Yaroslav Ovdii, who volunteered to be our next star and to answer some of our questions. So, hi, Yaroslav.
Hi.
Tell about yourself, please. Where are you from, your hobbies, and so on?
Basically, I'm from Kyiv. I'm born and live here. It appears that my hobbies is my current work. Well, I started coding as my hobby at first. And then it was... I realized that I really like it and I want to work in this sphere. I want it to be my full-time job. So yes, my hobby is my current job.
So you devote your free time to coding as well?
Yes.
Did you study programming at university?
No, I didn't study programming at the university. My first encounter with programming was at courses at system administration course. So at first I was system administrator, and only after that I realized that I want to be a programmer.
What was your education?
My education, unfortunately for now, I don't have a high education. I finished the college, I believe it calls now KISIT. My specialty was electrician.
And I wanted to add that many people think that for programmer, education in this field not that important as for other fields, because when you program, you learn every day, and those knowledges you received in university, for example, might be outdated in few years. So higher education in programming is not that important. What do you think?
Well, yes and no, actually. Well, yes, because in programming it's developed very quickly, and for example, that thing that was great yesterday, today is not working great at all. And you should be prepared to restudy every time and to know new things. But university is giving you the base of knowledge to understand the things, how it works in generally. And it is very helpful in programming at all. Really helpful. For me, it was a little difficult without special education to dive into this profession. Difficulty was because, as I said, I didn't study some basics about coding and how, for example, JavaScript language work general frontend. I was start studying from React. So I took courses about React, and that is how I entered to the frontend programming.
And what was your first job experience? How did you find it?
My first job experience was at a company called Oblisoft in Poltava. It was commonly found through WorkUA. They have a position. I applied and was able to satisfy their needs for this job.
So you worked remote?
No, at that time of my life I lived in Poltava.
Oh, so you're basically from Kyiv, but you moved to Poltava for this position?
Yes, no, not for this position. I moved to Poltava for personal reasons. I moved to my girl. As I said, starting work there as a front-end developer, we used to work with React, for example, yes, as our stack, and we most basically worked for Bitsix24. It is a CRM system, actually well known in Ukraine, and we designed simple apps to simplify work of the managers in this CRM.
And how did you find the job in UppLabs? How did you move to Kiev?
I moved to Kiev back, I believe it was 2018. Moved to Kiev back because my girlfriend found a job in Kiev as well. So I found a UppLabs job just like an Obligsoft and WorkUA. Applied and I was successfully joined the team.
Okay, let's back to the technical stack. Why React?
Why I started studying React?
Why did you choose? Why Frontend? Why React? That was simply to enter, or you had like some prefers?
Well, it is preferred for me Frontend because when you go to Frontend, you may see the result of your coding continuously. Well, you code something and you will see how it works in the browser, and it's a cool thing to see actually. I choose React because back then it and even now it is the most popular JavaScript framework to work with.
And what are the specifics of front-end developer position that you like and that you don't like?
Well, actually it's hard to say for me what I don't like because I don't know, there is nothing that annoys me at my work right now. I really like this current position and generally what I like, as I described before, the reason why I choose Frontend, because I may see instantly what the result of my work is doing. Well, okay, yes, there is one annoying thing. It is work with legacy code. For example, when we work with code that used old technologies and you're trying to figure out why it doesn't working and figure out how person who wrote this code was thinking at the time and what he mean by putting this code. Yes, it is. Sometimes it is annoying. You're right about that.
Yeah. And how many years of experience in programming, in your opinion, gives the opportunity to become a senior developer?
Well, from our perspective as junior developer, it's hard to say actually. Well, I think it is not so much about years, it should be, but about experience of the person. But generally, perhaps it took 10 or more years to understand how it works under the hood, JavaScript, for example. So I believe it's probably 10 and more years.
Okay, that's fair. Were there the situations when you argued with your team and you thought that your decision was more accurate than, for example, the decision of your team lead, or those situations never happened?
It's rarely happening, this situation, because, my team lead obviously has more experience than I, so most of the time all the time I listen to his advice and how he see it will be fitting, because he in past he may have such experience and know what could go wrong if we do that or another thing. But it may argue when, for example, you work more closely with this code, and if you change this part, another part will fail because it has dependency on each other. So in this case, sometimes we argue, but it's a really rare thing.
No fights.
No fights.
And did it happen that the client wanted something that can't be fulfilled? And how did you and the team manage that, resolve it?
Yes, it happens when clients want something that couldn't be done currently, for example, but we also try to find out another option for them. So we suggest it won't work as you like, but we can do that, for example.
Are you always satisfied with the results of your work?
Well, currently, yes. Most of my work.
Like, were there situations when you, for example, launched a product and the client was satisfied and everybody said it was okay, but then you noticed that some part of those code is not working, and maybe you said them that, sorry, it was my fault or something like that, or those situations never happened?
When we develop something, any features or a new product, it took team to discuss how it will be work, how the work should be done, and what part of work you should do. And of course, every work you have done is being checked and showing that this doesn't work and you should fix it before client sees it, for example.
Mm-hmm. Have you ever wanted to create your own programming language or framework?
Not at this time, no. I think it is already enough programming languages and frameworks for me that you can use. And I don't see me creating a new language or framework right now.
And you said earlier that you also work with Vue.js, right?
Yes.
And why you started using it, and what other JavaScript frameworks you want to learn and to work with?
Well, we using Work.js because it is a requirement technology for our current work.
And do you follow some latest trends of the programming? Do you read some programmers? And
sometimes, but I doesn't really have much time to following in the social networks. Recently, I finally got Twitter and following some interesting JavaScript tickets there, and that's all. Like whom? The man who creates courses for Udemy. I don't remember his correct last name. His name is Maximilian Watchmüller or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Well, I really like his courses about Vue.js and JS generally. That's why I'm following him.
P or OOP, regardless of what you use for work now, what is, in your opinion, the future of programming?
Well, from my perspective for now, it's both options is deserve to exist, and it depends on the task you want to achieve. You should use a functional way or OOP way, and I doesn't prefer any of methods right now because if it's fit to use functional, we would use functional way, but if it's better to use OOP because it will be more structured or easy to reach after that, we will use OOP.
And what was the most interesting project for you and why? Tell about its purpose, functionality, technological stack, features, challenges.
Well, most interesting project, it was a program was called Loyalty. It collects analytics about items, products you have sell, how often they're selling, and so on. So collects a lot of analytics from BTX24, and then it is providing you the ways how you can enhance the amount of products you sell.
Mm-hmm.
So, and this way how you may increase your income. The hardest part of it was to creating the chatbot at that time, which was connecting to the customers through Telegram, Facebook, Viber. Yes, I believe that's all. And basic on the response from the customer, we should give them another response. So, and it was customly created from the interface we provide. So that interface I was creating, and that at this time it was most difficult task I've ever done.
How stressful is the work of developer is generally? How do you think? For you?
For me, not so stressful at all, actually. Well, I must say that my first job was at Hotline. That was a stressful job. And after that job, I doesn't see any stress here at all.
And anyway, would like to ask you about the regeneration, because even if you don't have a stress at your current work, you probably get tired sometimes. And you can share your ways to have a new energy, to renew your spirit or your physical activities, or what do you use to regenerate?
Maybe
a couple things actually. First, it's gaming. So I play video games, and this is how I'm relaxing usually. Sometimes it's give me relax about recently to relax I was creating tic-tac-toe games with the help of Vue.js, and that helped me to relax as well. As I mentioned at the start, that coding was my hobbies, and it still is. So I am relaxing also by coding as well.
There is a map behind you. Maybe you like traveling.
I really want to travel, but I wasn't traveling a lot for now. But in future, yes, we are planning to travel a lot, I hope.
And you said about video games. What console do you use? Xbox, PS, or maybe you are a PC user? PC?
Yes.
And what are your favorite games? You use Steam probably.
My favorite games for now it's Stellaris and Witcher 3.
And how do you usually organize remote job? Do you like to work more in office or remotely?
Well, truthfully said, I more like to work at office because it. When you're at home, you must set this mood by yourself, and not all the time it could be done successfully, actually. So I really prefer to work from office, and unfortunately at this time where quarantine, I was able to successfully set my mood to work at home for now.
So you prepared working environment at home?
Yes. My simple desk and a chair for my working environment for now.
Last question. If not the developer, what else would you choose? Who can you?
Hypothetically.
If I'm a developer?
Yeah.
I don't know. It would be probably something with computers. Well, changing parts or something like this. Maybe I would still stay as a system administrator.
Or create robots?
Well, I've thought about that, but unfortunately, I'm maybe not so smart to do that.
Okay, we believe that you are able to create robots, but for now, this is all for our podcast, and we'd like to thank you for answering our questions, and we hope more more of UppLabs team would like to connect to you, to talk to you while we're in quarantine, to have some activities online and so on. And again, thank you and have a nice day.
Have a nice day. Thank you for calling.